Hi, I'm Dr. Joe Louro, CEO of Investview, and I'd like to welcome Jordan Kimmel, our new Chief Investment Officer. Jordan, welcome to Investview.
Thank you, Joe.
Jordan, you've had an exceptional career in the last 25 years, and it's my pleasure to bring you into the Investview team. It's an honor, and I'm sure the shareholders and the bondholders are going to be truly excited about this acquisition, what I call an acquisition or milestone in the company. Tell us what brought you here, Jordan.
Well, thank you, Joe, first of all. And let me just share, I have been with all the big firms in the past, the Payne Webbers, the Dean Witters. Frankly, Joe, one of the things that brought me here was you and the way I view companies. And I'm known for this thing called the magnet stock selection process and really what it's about. And one of the hallmarks is the M. And the M stands for management. And what I see here is a deeply committed team, large insider ownership, a really quality team built around the new way of doing business, which is transparency. And of course, I'm looking forward to bringing the asset management in. But what you've talked about in our initial discussions was really not only creating a high return for clients, but being a way to touch them, using the technology, getting in front of them, share why we're thinking, how we're thinking. This very video itself is a testimony of what we're going to be able to do. The transparency and the strength of the team is what brought me here. And frankly, I think Wall Street needs a new way of doing business, and I'm really excited to join the Investview family.
Oh, well, thank you, Jordan. It's our pleasure, that's for sure. You said for many years, Jordan, that the individual investor has a distinct advantage over the institutional investor. So tell me about that.
Right, and this goes contrary, frankly, to what they like to say, Wall Street's rigged against the individual.
Right.
Look, frankly, this whole discussion about the institutions having an advantage was true many years ago when individuals, remember, Wall Street really maintained and contained all the information. If you wanted to know something about a company, you had to go through Wall Street to get that. Now with the internet, it's wide open. Maybe in fact, there might be too much information. So we'll help them with Investview, but the point is institutions are really handcuffed. There's too many rules. They have to only invest in companies that already have multi-billion-dollar market caps, already past their really great growth phase. An individual with only $5 million or less to invest can take a portfolio of $10 million or 10 stocks, get in and out of sectors really easily. The largest funds, frankly, Joe, they all own the same things, not because they want to, but because they have to.
Yeah, the Apples and the Exxons are all in the different mutual fund portfolios. It's there as a protective mechanism for the trustee or the investment officer, right? Because they say, well, listen, I invested in Apple. How could, you can't blame me if the company had a problem, or I invested in IBM. But what you've done is, and you've made a statement that we have an advantage as an individual investor. People hear that with the high frequency trading computers and the institutions and the institutional investors, we don't have a shot. I don't believe that's true. And the point you just made about there's so much information out there, well, Investview's job and Jordan Kimmel's job is to compress it and to compartmentalize it and say, okay, this is what we're going to take advantage of, this information.
Right, Joe, and this idea of high frequency trading and pennies and entry points, it's actually a distraction. What you have to know is what you want to buy. Do you want to buy or sell? Whether I get in at 2601 or 2602 really doesn't matter for real returns. And again, our clients and what we're all about is investing, not trading for the nanosecond. So I think the individual who has a plan, who has an approach, and who can actually invest in companies during their rapid growth period way have an advantage over institutions.
That's great. What some of our shareholders don't know is that you've been a commentator for many years on CNBC, on other financial TV and radio stations, along with being featured in Forbes magazine. So tell us about your role in Investview, leveraging all that.
Right, well thanks, Joe. There's been maybe 500 shows on Fox and ABC and CNBC, and I've written a couple books. One of the things I really like to do is I really feel it's important to empower the individual themselves. Really not for them to wake up every quarter and look at their statement, because if they're not involved with you, Joe, it would be nice if the market just went up and steady and straight, but it doesn't do that.
That's right.
There's U-turns and sharp turns that come, and unless the client is actually with you, understands why you're doing things, they're going to unfortunately wake up in the middle of the night scared one day if you haven't been in touch with them. So what we'll be able to do at Investview is really run daily, weekly videos and webinars,
Yes.
and keep people in touch with what they own and how they own. They can go on and just look at their statement, and they can call us and not get a recording, but get a person and understand their portfolio. So what I think is so critical is, as much as a quant, and I've known from my model, the Magnet model, part of it is the care and the correspondence and the reach and the touch with individual clients. I think it's been a hallmark of Investview all along, and it's something I'm really looking to even expand now that the bandwidth has come to the internet, and we can have daily, weekly updates and really keep people right in touch with what we're thinking.